Hello, everyone. Welcome to All Access with Pastor Josh Pennington. We're here live with him today, and we have some questions for him.
So excited. Fire away.
Okay, Josh, what are the greatest needs of our church at the moment?
Greatest needs of the church at the moment. It's a really great question, and I want to take my time and layer this well, all right? So the greatest needs of our church, number one, I would say first, is to make sure that we're doing the basics. Meaning, are you praying? Are you in the Word? Like, are you being a self-feeder at this time? Right? So like to make sure you invest in the 101s, the main principles, the first things. Second, I would say is to really promote a sense of unity when you're speaking to one another. As we talked about in today's message, are you making their day better and brighter, salt and light, giving those types of encouragements, like finding people within your circle, reaching out to them in practical ways, phone calls, visits. I gave the example of us going into people's driveways that we know and saying, hey, come to the front porch. We don't have to be in one-on-one contact if you don't want to be, but let us pray for you. That type of thing.
That's good.
I would say third too is that financial component. I don't want to be a prophet of doom and gloom, but I really feel like we haven't seen the bottom of the financial barrel from the fallout of all of these decisions. And so to keep God at the center of our finances, not panic, not get in fear, not get stressed out, but to make sure that we're keeping God first in the area of our finances through tithes and offerings. That's like majorly important in this season. And so like that's what I would say is that some of the big needs from a mindset standpoint that I would ask people to kind of lean into.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. No, thanks, Josh.
You're welcome.
And so what has been your biggest challenge during the pandemic?
See, this is a great question that no one really asks, and I'm a little frightened as to how transparent I should be about this. So I'm going to be as transparent as is humanly possible for me, because I think people appreciate that. I think you all appreciate that. When we are gathering together and we're in one place, this goes back to March, kind of when it first began. That disconnection, when you're used to seeing people on a regular basis and you have some proximity to them, it leaves you a little insecure. Where do you stand with them? Are people really with you? Second, it's been difficult to pastor people from a distance, because I feel like when we're in a regular rhythm, I felt like a lot of my intuition has served me. I kind of know where people are, what the pulse is. That has been a massive challenge for me, Les and Lisa, not know exactly where people are, but to trust that through prayer that God's leading me, guiding me, and directing me. And I guess what I would say is that isn't just for me. I think we probably all have felt a sense of disconnect in some shape, form, or fashion. That has been the hardest thing for me, is that level of disconnect. Been really tricky.
Gotcha.
Because the energy from people, like even just you being here in space, it's like, ooh, it kind of energizes
it's that
me.
feedback.
Sure.
And you guys are getting firsthand experience. Like there's a lens there. We're talking to people, but we don't see them yet. And so you kind of have to just kind of go for it and trust those instincts that like, okay, this is the right way to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Josh. And also during since we've been out of the building, how many decisions for Christ have been made? Since?
I love that question too. So when this all began in March, I'm going to go all the way back then to that point. We have seen well over 200 decisions, like someone clicked the button or sent a card or did something electronically, or in that brief period when we were meeting, they handed in a card. Over 200 people. Since we've been in the series Starfish and the Spider, there have been 25 decisions for Christ. So like God is still moving, and I can't wait to put this resource into our entire church's hands to really get out there and be salt and light. Better and brighter days are ahead. I'm like pumped for that. Yeah. Because that's what it's all about. That question, to me, is what it's all about.
Well, thanks, Josh.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. And so, last question.
Last one.
How can we help our community the most right now as a church?
Man. What a scary question to ask a person like me. I'll tell you what. I would say this, that we are doing our best as a staff, as good of a job as we've ever done to call, to reach out, to say, hey, we need help. So when we reach out, whether it's an email, a personal call, a text, or whatever, being real honest, when we ask for that help, say yes.
Exactly.
Like there's a whole myriad of areas. Like I know there's children's areas where they're like doing crafts, and people just come in, do the craft on screen, so people are seeing folks from our church with their kids for the online craft. Like just say yes, right? Like I'm not good at video. No one is, right? No one's good at anything the first time they do it.
Yeah.
Isn't that true? Like think about it. The first time you walked, you took maybe one step and then fell.
Yeah.
The first time you've done anything, it didn't go well. So like I don't want people to be. I want
That's a
people.
good point.
How can people help? Do the thing that you don't know if you're good at it or not. And if you're not, we'll help you. We'll find another thing for you, right? But like in those areas, the other thing that I would say right now that I'm really asking for is for people to be praying about being one of the 70. That I'm gonna intentionally gather 7 to 10 people that I know that their life needs to be enriched. And let's use this resource for the glory of God, and let's see God do something transformational. The last thing I would say is at the end of our service today, we kind of had a moment that I said, just like, let's get clear on our calling. Just ask God this simple question. Like in our community, every day ask this question: what can I do to make one person's life better and brighter? What can I do to be that salt and that light? And then just go do that thing. You know?
Yeah, that's great.
Anything else? Any other questions?
That's it. That's all we got.
Thanks for hanging out with me today.
Yeah, sure.
Hey guys,
Thanks for having us.
Oh yeah, my
thanks.
pleasure. Thanks for taking a few minutes and watching
Thanks,
today's
everybody.
All Access, and we hope you have a great rest of the day.